Hello and welcome to this any percent tutorial for Hedon Bloodright. This is going to cover the first episode, Crystal Heart. Bloodright, the second episode I have not yet learned. I do plan to return to this game at some point, but that episode is significantly longer. There's a lot of moving parts to it. It's going to take a considerable amount of time to sit down and learn, but I do want to add on to this video series once I learn that. But for now, we're just going to stick to the first episode. So to start, there's a few settings I use, such as sector lighting. I keep on bright. That way I can avoid having to use the night vision goggles in game or anything like that. I can just pretty much always see whenever I need to. And then you do option search, you can just type out manually. Save. And I like to keep off anything to do with auto-saving, because that just slows you down. I'd rather do manual saves, which is going to be on F6, and loading is going to be on F9. Now for keybinds, I pretty much keep everything where they're at, because there's just too many things to change. We have all the weapons, and we have all these inventory items that we make use of most of the time. The vial, the time shards, elemental ring, potion of might, amulet of shadows, potion of haste, even the choker of the beast we use. That's just too much to find a keybind for everything, so I just stick to the standard layout. Q is on for quick kick, and E is activate. F is to use an inventory item. You can switch between your inventory with Z and X, which we don't really make a lot of use of if you just remember the important inventory hotkeys. And then reloads on R, pretty much standard for an FPS game these days, just a lot of inventory items. So now I'm going to load up Parapet, because it has a nice open area where we can talk about the movement in this game. As this is on GZ Doom, it's going to have the strafe running mechanic that a lot of FPS games from the 90s have. So just by holding down W and A or W and D, or if you're moving backward, which is kind of rare and not really needed. But in addition to that, there is also if you use the alt fire of the axe, throw it forward, you can see that Zan moves forward just a little bit. And we use that to our advantage to get some nice momentum. It's actually a little bit faster than strafe running, but in open areas like this, especially if we jump and throw the axe, we actually have no ground resistance, so we can build up our fastest speed this way. So this is what you'll primarily want to use in areas like this, where there's enough room. You'll be jumping and throwing the axe, and there's a rhythm to this that you'll pick up. It's not that hard. Just hold forward, hit space, and throw your axe immediately. So a little bit of practice, you'll get it down. So in areas with a little bit of lower ceiling where you can't really make use of that, you'll just be using the normal axe throw. And then on like stairs and such, or places where there's a lot of objects in the way, like these trees for instance, you'll just use strafe running. Alright, let's move on now to the crush bow jumps. Now, as you know, this weapon right here shoots explosive bolts, and we can use that explosion to lift us up to areas. If you jump and then fire, it's not very effective if you shoot first and then jump. As you see, I just like barely popped off the ground. So jump and then fire, and that'll give you a nice boost up. Of course, there's a better way to do this. If you can get yourself in an elevated position, like right here, and then shoot down to the ground below you. You don't want to... You'll shoot at the elevation just below this. So not where we're standing, but just below that, and you'll hit jump, and that will throw you up significantly higher. As you can see, I've nearly cleared the mountain range right here just by doing that. And then other than that, there is the crouch slides, so like in areas where you're crawling through the caves, or if you're swimming, you'll submerge yourself and touch the floor and then just kick slide through it. But that's pretty much it. That's the movement in this game. And that's going to cover it for this video. I'm going to be splitting up the route into 3 maps per video, so Cold Rock, Plaza, and Barracks are all going to be on its own video, and then the following 3 maps, and then the 3 after that, finishing off with Crystal Heart being its own video because that is a much longer level. But for now, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for your interest in this speedrun, and until then, everyone take care.